Oh yeah, freaks, the return to ugly lawn. If you haven't seen the original video, it's called How to Make a Tall Ugly Lawn Short and Ugly. In that video, I took you for a walk through and picked up the things in the yard, and it was pretty tall. It was the first ever time I was here. I had just landed the gig, and I was kind of shocked at how it looked. But I made it look better, and when I got it in shape finally, it's been a breeze ever since. It does grow pretty fast. Take a look right here. You got this yellow nut sedge that pops up. And if you pluck one out, you'll see why they call it yellow nut sedge. Because at the very base of it, it'll be like a nut the grass grows out of. And that stuff shoots up quick, gets pretty tall. And like I said, the yard is looking a lot better than it was when I first took over a year and a half ago. It was a mess, but now it's been under control, looking good. I keep it looking better than the neighbors. As you can see, they even blow their clumps over on my side, but hey, it's not really my yard, so I can't complain too much. So here we go. We have a different mower. Last time I used the 36 Snapper Pro. This time I'm going to use the 48-inch Ferris. I am going to start off with the trimming. I'm going to go ahead and zip down the outer edge of the boulevard next to the street here while there are not a lot of cars going around, which was kind of shocking actually. Usually I have to go a few feet, pause, and wait for a car to pass, then keep going. You don't want to flip anything into a car. It could cause problems for them and you too. So I laid that little edge down. I'm trying to trim out the little flat areas down there where my mower deck won't be able to reach without going off the curb. Now I'm zipping up this side, going and laying down an edge with just the trimmer. It's not a problem. Once you get an edge going, it's easy to maintain. Even after 2 weeks of growth, it should be pretty easy. Every once in a while you have to stop and trim some out of the little sidewalk cracks. And you zip on down like that. Everything's going good. And you see some more and you go, okay, we'll go zip, zip, zap, zap. Keep it nice and clean. It is the final cut on this yard, but I'm not going to skimp on them. I'm going to take care of them. Make sure I got some turnaround room down there. Come over to this side and step up here. And oh man, I almost snapped myself up. It was almost game over before it even began. Easy there, freak, easy. I know you got a lot of lawns to do today, probably about 10, but just slow your roll. Pace yourself, man. You don't want to hurt yourself. Accidents do happen, so you freaks out there need to make sure, even though when you're in a rush, you got to be aware of what you're doing, where you're stepping, what's around you. So be cool, wear your safety gear too. So right here is the part that separates the two lawns from each other, the neighbor. You got to go around these poles and down in here, and your mower won't be able to fit down in that little swell in the little ditch area, so you have to trim that a little bit so it looks nice and clean, a fresh little blend in from one yard to the next. So once you get this little area done right here, then it's kind of easy peasy along there for the mower. You don't have to like get down in the ditch and get stuck, man. When it's wet, you can get stuck down in there with your mower, so watch out for that. Look at that. I'm gonna go ahead and trim up underneath my truck. I'm flinging some grass up on it, and I don't even care because it's my truck. Heading towards the backyard, I go ahead and trim along here anyway, even though the mower gets most of it. I don't like to let things grow up onto the blacktop too far. And when I get down here, I have to go around this little wood and give yourself some turnaround room at the ends because you don't want to clip it with your mower deck. These are the kind of obstacles that if you're not paying attention, you run up on it and you mess your blade up. Or worse, you never know, might mess yourself up too. Give a little flat edge, give myself some room right there in the corner, come on back down the side and around it. Trimming, I don't mind trimming, it's kind of fun, but between mowing and trimming, it's the most tiring. So yeah, I do like to get it out of the way first. It does help that when you trim first, the blades that you're cutting, the little grass gets chopped up with the mower. Right here I have to get a big area for a turnaround room because that mower, that 48-inch deck, is not going to fit up in there really good. Now coming along here, you look at that siding and stuff. This is some funky stuff here. You notice I didn't trim real good up against it because I could possibly scrape the siding because it's so low. So when I first took over this yard, I told them, I said, hey, someone's poked holes in your siding with a trimmer before and stuff. And they go, oh yeah, we know. And I go, well, I just want to make sure that I'm not going to be blamed for that. And they're like, just do whatever you want to do. And I'm like, okay. So at one point I actually did spray around there, so I didn't even have to trim. And then after a while, I just kind of had a little groove. I kind of like edged along it so that I didn't have to worry about getting close anymore. So now I can just zip past it. But it's over. This yard is gone after this cut. The yard was for sale, but it changed hands after about 1.5 years. So now I'm the person that's no longer going to be here. And I'm not that sad because I have plenty of work right now, which is a good thing. I'm in a good position in my business and in my lawn care career. Things are okay, you know, yards come and go. There's always a little bit of a fluctuation, but I always manage to, you know, have plenty of work. Had to stop, pick up some sneaky snack wrappers. Somebody had a zebra cake or something there, you know, hey, people gotta have their snacks, so do I. I pick up all the time, I never chop up stuff. And right here, so some more turnaround room. Got that big mower, thing's gonna work out just fine. And I don't want to have to go cut into the neighbor's yard as I'm turning around either, so give myself some room. Right here, same deal. This is the funky little corner. I'm gonna go ahead and trim it out really good. The main thing is that little water meter you see right there in the front of the video. If you bump that with your tire, it could pop up, you know, sideways, and then your blade will hit it. And if your blade hits one of those, well, you're gonna be buying a new blade, man. You don't want to do that. So I trim that whole area. I don't even want to drive over it. And look at that. Everything will be just fine. Now we're in the backyard. This is the little shed that's right in the middle of the yard. Kind of throws my whole groove off when I'm trying to cut this. You can't just make one big striping pattern going all the same way. You have to cut this yard in sort of like sections, which is actually good for filming this for you. Hey, there's that owl that I found in the very first video here. You see me kicking it around? Well, I'll kick it again. There you go. So yeah, I just kind of get close to it. It's funky grass and stuff, you know. I'm just here to take care of things. I'm not here to manicure this lawn. That's not what they want. When people want it done every 2 weeks, they're not really worried about a manicure so much, you know. It's just kind of like cost, you know, efficient and effective for them. They just want it maintained, but I always do a good job. I was just showing you right there how there's some wild growth. You got to watch out for it with your mower. I'm not getting all the way up in there. There's poison ivy and snakes and spiders, rats and bats, who knows. I'm just kind of one hand trimming all the way along this back area so that I can you know, just have some, don't have to get up real close with the mower because that stuff be raking across your face and shoulders, and you might wake up with some itchy scratchies on you, a big old rash, because there's some weird vines in there. Almost done with the trimming. We get to come back up the final side. It's about time. But it's actually a easy yard to trim. You know, you just kind of go along. It's not a whole lot of edging, so you're just flat trimming. That's what I call it anyway. Come along here. See, this is a fence with a fence right next to it. So there's like a 4 or 6 inch gap. So wacky stuff grows in between it. And I can't really just spray it because you can kill some of the stuff that's on the other side of that privacy fence. So right here I showed you how I went along the bottom, then I kind of edged around the top to take all that off, and now I'm kind of edging like this. Why am I doing it? Just to show you that I kind of clean it up a little bit. Now comes the fun part. Time for the mower. Got the 48-inch Ferris right here. I'm going to back it up. I have my little 21 on there, so I'm kind of on the side. I have to pull it back up and get straight. I like to come right down the middle of my trailer, right down the gate, right in the middle on those little beams. That's the support beams. I don't want to bend it, and I don't want to go off sideways. I did that on my right stander one time, went right off the side of my trailer, crashed it, nearly destroyed my hip, and killed myself. And you know what I did? I sold my right stander. That's right, I went back to walk behinds because I didn't feel that safe on them. So here we are. This is the little wacky area. We're going to get rid of this first. I just flung something up onto the camera. Oh well, we can deal with that little spot. And like I said, you don't want to go over that little water meter manhole thing because you could suck it up, flip it up into there, and clip it with your blade, and boom! You are one pissed off lawn freak. Alright, time to do the front yard. Oh good, good for me. The front yard is pretty much just all blacktop. So it's just a little bit of a boulevard here. You go down and back up. Look at that striping pattern. You got the dark, the light. Now this one should look dark to us if I'm coming down, right? Does it? Well, sort of. It's all about the angle and the sun, how they look on here, but in real life they usually look pretty good. But now I just messed it all up because I'm coming back around so that I can go ahead and get this little spot out here by the street. Don't want to go off. Gave myself some little cut in turn around room. Flying on down and right up the side we go. Heading to the backyard and everything's cool. I got that chute blocker so I'm not blowing it way out into the blacktop. I don't have to blow it all off. And here we go. Open that chute blocker up, let that stuff fly. But I gotta be aware. I gotta duck and stuff when I get along that back wall, because that's where all them crazy little limbs and stuff are hanging out. Look at that. Don't want to hit that wood. So since I had to fit in there and get that last little 8 inches, might as well take out the other spot right here. Clean it all up real good. Now we'll zip back down here. Oh, so this part's getting cut twice. Look at me. Oh, I'm flying, bouncing all around. My hat might fly off. Zip on down, shoot that stuff all over the place. Looking kind of dusty there. That's okay. Duck, Greg, duck. Oh, whoa, almost got it in the eye. Wear your safety glasses, freaks. Always do that. Close my chute blocker. Zip on down here. You seen me cut it in, and I'm turning around. And luckily I do have the chute blocker so it's not blowing it all up towards the neighbors, you know, air conditioning units and stuff like that. And now we're in the backyard. There really isn't a lot of flow to this backyard. There's a lot of areas like right here where you have to go up into and back out, and the ground's jacked up right there where the nutsedge is growing. It's all bumpy and there's like some real big ruts and dips, and they've been there the whole entire time, so I have to, you know, gotta go slow or I'll bounce myself right off the mower, you know, shake my teeth out of my head. I'm serious, it's really dippy and rattly, you know. So right here I'm going to wrap the middle right there so that I don't spray stuff against the wall. And this area is just filled with a different type of grass. Usually it's, see them little white things growing on top of there? It's a lot of clover and that stuff, and it stays wet. And I actually have to double cut it every time just because I do not leave clumps in my lawns. Even when it's a every other week cut like this one, I just can't do it. And you know, it's even crazier because this is the final cut. Most people would just do a half-assed job. I won't do it. I just can't. It might be an OCD thing with me. But not only do I take pride in it, since I've never walked away from a yard looking horrible, I can't start now, you know. And I like to look back at the yard and at least see it all evenly cut without any clumps. That's my thing, and that's how I do it. People always get their money's worth with me, and I'm probably shooting myself in the foot. I could probably make a lot more money, but you know, it's not all about the money, because I mean, I am surviving. Like I said, I have plenty of work, and my life is okay. I don't need to cut that many corners and do a crappy job just to make an extra $5 or $10. Now here's a perfect example of how come this yard does not have a lot of flow to it. I have to now cut in and go around this little shed and get the area behind it, the other side, and right up here where I was just at, the last few little passes. And then I'll have this one big area that I can go back and forth on. So you get a funky camera angle to see what's going down. I'm just letting you know, not every yard is a cookie cutter lawn. In my area, this is very common. Old funky sheds, garages, and wacky fences, bird baths, and poles in the middle of the yard. Who knows, someone might have thrown an old bathtub out there. Big old cast iron sucker you can't even move. So what? You gotta go around it, man. They're not moving it. I'm not moving it. You freaks are like, bathtub or whatever. No, I'm serious, man. I've seen some strange things in yards that people have left there and have turned into like planters, flower boxes, or they just don't know what to do with it, so they just chuck it out their door, and there you go. It stays for like 15 years or something. I'm not trying to make fun of my town, but you will see some very strange things around here, okay? This isn't high society cookie cutter $350,000 houses and nice fertilized lawns. You know, this is the Granite City mix. You got Bermuda fescue mixed in with a little bit of zoysia, dandelion clover, chickweed, crabgrass, you name it, it's there. And as far as obstacles, just plan on every yard having some sort of freaky obstacle, if not 10 or 12. 10 or 12 yards, well, those are the ones you might want to play your too hard card on. So what I'm cutting right now is the only section that I actually have some flow. I just get to go back and forth, make a nice straight line. You know, unless I'm medicated from having a cold or something, then I'll be out swerving. Looks like I'm a drunk driver, but it's really just NyQuil. So yeah, this yard is all clean, nice and smooth. No little wacky things in it. I've picked it up over the years, but guess what? It's all ready for somebody new. I'm done. I'm done, son. The ugly lawn is officially gone. So it's all over but the crying, but I'm not crying. No, I'm not crying at all. Everything's cool here. I got my blower out. Yes, it's a handheld blower. That's all I need to take care of a couple sidewalks, right? Just a couple of little sidewalks, the edge of the parking lot. Blow it all up into the grass. Don't want to blow it out into the street, you know. Just kind of whoop, aim it all back up onto the sidewalk, and we'll put it all right here by the bus stop. You remember what we seen at that bus stop before? You remember the baby doll scene and the lady and all that? Yeah, you remember that. Turn my blower off. Do one final walk through here. Make sure it's not all lumpy dumpy and clumpy, which it never really is, but we're gonna double check it anyway. Say our last farewells. I know in one of my videos last year, my This Week in Lawn Care series, I push mowed this because my 36-inch mower broke down. And so yeah, if you want to see that, go find it. I don't even know which video it's in. But I think there's a few stripes on here. Oh my gosh, I accidentally striped another lawn, sort of. It's kind of hard to stripe dandelion and chickweed, but I think I might have done it, man. That's pretty cool.